everyone, welcome to Botany Insider, and in this lecture we would be discussing one of the most important topic from the unit 13, that is methods in biology, and we would be discussing about the statistical methods. We would be analyzing about that what are statistics, and also we would be discussing few of the important repeatedly topics asked in the previous years with the help of the various previous year questions. So first of all, let us discuss that what is statistics. So statistics is the discipline that concerns with the collection, organization, analysis, interpretation and the presentation of data. So in simple words we could say that statistic is a method or it is a discipline in which we are actually focusing upon the collection of the data, and after the collection we mainly focus upon its organization, analysis, interpretation and finally the presentation of the data, so that the data is in a more presentable form, it is in a more readable form for the person concerned. So in applying the statistics to a scientific, industrial or the social problems, it is conventional to begin with the statistical population or a statistical model to be studied. So it means that when we are trying to organize or when we are trying to collect and present the data in the statistical method, first what we need is we need to have the sample created, or we need to have the statistical population or the statistical model that is to be presented or that is to be studied is actually required to be collected at the first place. So this is all about the brief introduction of statistics. So now we will be discussing about the questions and the topic asked in them in detail. So the first question says that given below are the names of the statistical distributions in the column A and the characteristic features in column B. So in column A we have the statistical distributions and in column B we have the characteristic features. So the column 1 says binomial distribution, then we have Poisson distribution and then we have normal distribution, and what we have to do is which of the following represents a correct match between the column 1 and column 2. So what we have to do is we need to match these distributions depending upon their correct definitions. So first of all, let us discuss about each one of the distribution in detail and then we would be reaching to the final answer. So the first one is the binomial distribution. So binomial in itself says that there is involvement of two variables. Bi means two. So a binomial distribution can be thought of as simply the probability of success or failure outcome in an experiment or a survey that is repeated multiple times. So in binomial theorem what we are focusing upon is that consider we have this particular event happening. So depending upon the number of outcomes of this event, this distribution is given the name of binomial, as the events have two possibilities, that is it could either pass or it could either succeed, or on the other hand it could either fail. So because it have two outcomes possible, hence it is the binomial distribution. And the binomial is a type of distribution that has two possible outcomes, as we have just studied. The prefix bi means two or twice. That means the event have an outcome which have two possibilities, either yes or no. So this is all about the binomial distribution. The second one is Poisson distribution. So in this it is a discrete probability distribution of the number of events occurring in a given time period given the average number of the times the event occurs over that time. For example, a certain fast food restaurant gets an average of 3 visitors drive through per minute. So this distribution actually defines about the probability of an event occurring. So we can remember it this way: P for Poisson and P for probability. So the distribution in which there is the distribution of the probability of an event happening, that is defined by the help of this distribution. Talking about the third distribution, that is the normal distribution. So a function that represents the distribution of many random variables as a symmetrical bell-shaped curve. So in normal distribution, when we look at the outcomes, we usually get to see a bell-shaped curve as an outcome. So a normal distribution is also known as Gaussian distribution. Make sure you remember about this term. So it is the probability distribution that is symmetric about the mean, showing that data near the mean are more frequent in occurrence than the data from that is away from the mean. So do not go into the depth, just remember that in normal distribution we mainly look at the probability distribution which is symmetric about the mean, and also in this the final result is mainly the bell-shaped curve. Make sure you remember about this information that it is mainly bell-shaped curve. So now, as we have discussed about all the three distributions in brief, let us try to solve the question that we have looked. So the first one is the binomial distribution. So binomial distribution is in which each observation represents one of the two outcomes, either success or failure. So A matches with 1. Why? Because we have just studied in binomial distribution we have the type or we have the final resultant as two possibilities, either success or failure. Hence A matches with the first option. Talking about the second distribution, so as we have just studied, this represents the probability of a given number of events happening in a fixed interval of time. And the third one is normal distribution. So the probability distribution that is symmetric about the mean. So B matches with the third option and C matches with the second option. So if you analyze all the four options given, we can easily find out that A matches with first, B matches with third and C matches with second only in option 3, and hence C is the correct option for this particular question. So I hope this question is clear to you. All you need to remember is that what are these distributions all about and their brief introduction or a brief description about each one of them. You can remember it by their name itself. Binomial means something that have two outcomes. So that is either success or failure. Poisson distribution could be remembered as that P stands for Poisson and also P stands for the probability. And in the normal distribution, main important feature is that in this distribution it is mainly symmetric about the mean. So with this we have third option as the final answer. Let's move forward to the second question. So this is a part B question, and this question says that choose the correct answer from the statements indicated below. We are given 4 statements and we need to find out that which answer is correct. So the first option says that chi-square test is parametric. Second option says that non-parametric test assumes normal distribution. Third option says that the results can be significantly affected by the outliers in the parametric test, and the fourth option says that the non-parametric test is more powerful as compared to parametric. So in order to solve this type of question, we need to understand about that what are parametric and what are non-parametric tests. So let us discuss about both of them. When we classify about the various types of tests present, first of all we need to understand the bifurcation. So talking about the hypothesis test, so there are mainly 2 types of hypothetical tests. The first one is the parametric test, which are also given the name of metric test, and the second one is the non-parametric test, which are also called as non-metric test. When we classify the parametric test, so depending upon how many samples are taken, they are of 2 types. A first one is the in one sample, and the common examples are the t-test and the z-test. The second one is in which we have 2 or more samples, and in this also we have 2 further bifurcations. The first one is having the independent samples, and the examples are 2 group t-test and the z-test, and the second one is the paired samples. The common example is paired t-test. Talking about the non-parametric, same bifurcation happens, that is either one sample or two or more samples. In one sample we have chi-square test, we have runs, we have binomial distributions, and in two or more samples we either have the independent samples or the paired samples. In case of independent samples we have the example as chi-square and the other ones, and the paired samples have main examples as sine, Wilcoxon and other ones. You need not to remember about all this. I just included this slide in order to have a clear understanding of that what are parametric and non-parametric tests. So in simple words we could say that parametric and non-parametric tests are mainly the subtypes of a hypothetical test that are performed in the scientific methods. So let's understand about the difference between the parametric and the non-parametric test in order to solve the question we are concerned about. So let's discuss about the difference between the parametric and the non-parametric test. So the parametric tests are normally distribution or they are normally distributed, and the non-parametric tests are the ones that are not normally distributed. In parametric tests we require large data or the sample, and in non-parametric we require small samples. In parametric test there occurs random selection of the population sample, and in non-parametric there is not random selection, but the selection of the sample is more precise or it is more specific in nature. The parametric tests are more powerful than the non-parametric, and the non-parametric are less powerful than the parametric test. Talking about the examples, so the most common examples for the parametric test are Z-test, P-test, Anabola test. And talking about non-parametric, common examples are chi-square test and the other ones. So now let's discuss about the question that we are concerned about. So the first one says that we need to find out the correct options. The first option says that chi-square is parametric, which is an incorrect statement. Why? As we have just discussed that chi-square is a non-parametric test. Hence, first is the incorrect option. The second one says that non-parametric test assumes normal distribution, and as we have just studied that the sample in the non-parametric test is not normally distributed. So we could say that B is also a incorrect statement. The third one says that the result can be significantly affected by the outliers in the parametric test. Let's keep this statement on hold and learn about the fourth statement first. So it says that non-parametric tests are more powerful than compared to the parametric, which is the incorrect statement. Why? Because we have just studied that it is the opposite of the statement given, that is parametric tests are more powerful. So we have incorrect statements as first, second and fourth. So even if you have no idea about the correct statement from this question, you could easily reach out to the final answer. Why? Because in this question we have used the method of elimination. Because as we have the knowledge of first, second and fourth option, we could easily eliminate them and find out the correct answer. There are two ways to find out a correct answer in a question. The first way is that you know the correct answer or you know the exact fact about the question. That is the first option. The second trick is what you can do is that if you do not have the knowledge about the correct answer, make sure you know that what is incorrect from that particular question. As we have used this trick in this question, we knew that option A, option B and option D were incorrect. Hence, we could easily and confidently eliminate these options and reach out to the final answer. That is, the results can be significantly affected by the outliers in a parametric test. So this is a correct statement and a factual statement also. So you can add this statement in your notes also. So we have the final answer as option C. So you can see that there are many ways to solve a question. You need not to go to the only conventional method for solving. You can use other methods also. So with this, we're done with this question. Let us discuss one more question from the same. So in this question, what we are given is that given below are a set of statistical methods, parameters in column A, and in column B there are potential applications or the utility in the biological research in column B in the random manner. So in column A we have various parameters, and in column B we have the utilities. What we have to do is we need to match out that what matches with the correct option. We need to match out the both of the columns. Let's discuss about each one of these statistical methods, and then we would reach out to the final answer. So the first one is variance. So variance is the measure of variability, and it is calculated by taking the average of the squared deviations from the mean. The third point is that variance tells you the degree of the spread in your data set. The more the spread the data, the larger the variance is in relation to the mean. In simple word, what it means is that in variance, what we are measuring is the variability. That is, consider we have this set of sample. So when we are considering or when we are calculating the variance, what we are doing is we are actually calculating that what is the variation or what is the degree of variability in this particular type of data. So in this, how we calculate variance is we calculate the variance by taking the average of the squared deviations from the mean. The second one is the coefficient correlation. So what is coefficient correlation? So they are mainly used to measure how strong the relationship is between the two variables. That is, if we have variable A and variable B, so what is the correlation between the two variables? That is, what is the effect of first variable over the second and vice versa. What is the strong relationship that these two variables is holding is actually calculated by the help of coefficient correlation. The measure of some type of correlations, meaning a statistical relationship between the two variables, as we have just studied. The third point says that the statistical measure of the degree to which changes to the value of one variable predict the change of the value of the another. That is the method or the measure in which when the value of one variable changes, the variation or the degree by which the second variable would change. This prediction of change is actually calculated by the help of coefficient correlation. The third one is the regression analysis. So regression analysis is a set of statistical processes for estimating the relationships between a dependent variable, often called the outcome variables, and one or more independent variables. Often they are called as the predictors, covariates, or the features. The set of statistical methods that are used for the estimation of the relationships between a dependent variable and one or more independent variables. So what we are doing in the regression analysis is that we are estimating the relationship between the dependent and the independent variables. That is, consider we have this variable A and variable B. So in nature or by nature, consider that variable A is dependent upon variable B, but the variable B is not at all dependent on variable A. So in this method, what we are doing is we are estimating the relationship between one dependent variable and one independent variable. The dependent variable is often called the outcome variable, and the independent variable is often called as the predictors, covariates, and the features. The last one is about the chi-square test. So a chi-square test is a statistical test that measures how a model compares to the actual observed data, or we could say that the chi-square statistics compare the size, any discrepancies between the expected results and the actual results given the size of the sample and the number of variables in the relationship. So in this test, what we are actually doing is we are actually measuring that what is the difference between the actual data available and the expected data available. So in simple words, we are actually defining the, or we are actually measuring that how the theoretical and the actual values are varying from one another. So this is the brief about the chi-square test. Let us discuss the question what we have just studied. So on the first column we have the variance. So variance is the calculation of the spread of a distribution. So A matches with the fourth option as we have just studied about variance. The second one is correlation coefficient. So it matches with the first option that measures the strength of association between the two variables. So B matches with the first option. Then we have regression analysis. It matches with second one that predicts the value of the dependent variables based on the non-values of the associated variables. So C matches with the second option and the D matches with the third option, that is chi-square analysis is the calculation of the deviation between the observed and the expected values. So D matches with third. So when we analyze this combination, we could find out the combination in option C. So C is the correct answer for this particular question. You need to have just basic understanding about these statistical parameters and you could easily solve out these type of questions. You can easily fetch very good marks from these questions and questions. Match the following types of questions are the most simplest type amongst all type of questions in the CSIR NET examination. So we have discussed 3 important questions from the unit 13 of statistical concepts. So I hope this video was helpful for you, and if you like this video, please do like, share it with your friends, and please subscribe to my channel. And also I'll be coming up very soon with more informative videos as well. So thank you so much for watching and I'll see you soon. Bye.